Welcome back. So in previous lectures we discussed about the basic building blocks of sequential circuits like latches, flip-flops, types of flip-flops, applications of flip-flops, registers and corresponding VHDL coding. And now in this session I would like to discuss counters, a sequential circuit counter. What is counter? Counter is basically a register which maintains a prescribed sequence of states. If the sequence of state a binary number, then it is called a binary counter. If you take an n-bit binary counter, it consists n number of flip-flops and the counting begins from 0, counts up to 2 power n minus 1 number. There are two types of counters. One is ripple counter and another one is synchronous counter. The basic difference between these two counter categories is in the applied clock signal. In case of ripple counters, the output of one flip-flop acts as a clock signal for the other flip-flops. Whereas in synchronous counters, the clock signal is common for all the flip-flops. That is the basic difference. And another difference is the ripple counter delay is large compared to the synchronous counters. So let us see the construction of ripple counter. So this is the construction of ripple counter using T flip-flops. Okay, here it is a 4-bit ripple counter you can take. So number of flip-flops here are 4 and the source clock is connected to the flip-flop which is in LSB position. Whereas for other flip-flops, the clock signal is output from the previous flip-flops. See the clock signal to the other flip-flops, it comes from the output of the other flip-flops. Whereas in synchronous counters, let us see the structures. The clock signal is common for all the flip-flops. This is the clock signal and it is common for all the flip-flops, right? Again here two types of synchronous counters are there. One is a serial enable synchronous counter and another one is parallel enable synchronous counter. The first structure is the serial enable synchronous counter, whereas second one is parallel enable synchronous counter. In addition to clock signal, there is a enable signal to enable each and every flip-flop. Okay. So here in synchronous counter case, the state of flip-flop in LSB position is changed for every clock signal, for every clock pulse, whereas the flip-flops in the other positions, changes their output when their corresponding lower level flip-flops output is equal to 1. Suppose if the flip-flop of Q1 has to change its output, it is happen when its lower flip-flop output is 1. Similarly, the Q2 flip-flop changes its output when its lower flip-flops like Q1 and Q0 becomes 1. Similarly, the Q3 flip-flop changes its output when its lower all flip-flops, that is Q2, Q1, Q0 maintains logic 1. Let us see the timing diagram of this synchronous 4-bit binary counter. Okay, so if you observe here, the flip-flop which is with reference to Q0 changes its output for every clock signal or for every clock pulse, right? For every clock pulse. Whereas the other position flip-flops like the flip-flop in position Q1, position Q2 and position Q3 changes its value when its lower flip-flop is at logic 1. Okay, suppose if you take Q1, changes its output when its lower flip-flop value is 1. Okay, similarly Q2 changes its value when its lower flip-flops maintains logic 1. Similarly Q3 maintains its output when lower flip-flops maintains at logic 1. So like that, the counting sequence occur in case of synchronous binary counters. Okay. So then coming to MSI counters, the important IC here is IC 74163. Very important it is. IC 74163 is a synchronous 4-bit binary counter. Basically it is called synchronous 4-bit binary counter. Okay. Let us see the pin diagram of this one. The pin diagram of this counter is, the various inputs are clock input, clear, active low clear, active low load, ENT ENP enable signals, and ABCD active high inputs, QA QB QC QD active high outputs, and one more output is RCO. It is called triple carry output. This is the pin diagram for 74163. Let's observe the functionality of this 74163 as a counter, when it acts as a counter with a different input signal that you can observe through a truth table. Okay. So basically this flip-flop, this counter uses D flip-flops internally, so that it gives first priority to the clear signal. Okay, because clear and load here are the asynchronous inputs to the counter. Clear and load are the asynchronous inputs. Generally asynchronous inputs are the first priority inputs. Okay. First of all, it checks the clear signal. If clear is 0, if clear input is 0, whatever the other inputs and whatever the present state, whatever the current or present state, the counter simply in the reset state. The counter simply in the reset. Reset means all outputs at logic 0. Okay. So if it is 1, if the clear is 1, then it checks the load signal. If the load also at 0, because it is active low load input, if it is 0, whatever the other inputs and the current state, it just loads the input data on ABCD into the counter and shows the value on QA, QB, QC, QD like this. Okay. So if both these asynchronous inputs are at logic 1, then it checks the ENT and ENP. Suppose if ENT 0 or ENP 0, okay, so if either of these two, either ENT or ENP is equal to 0, whatever the current state or present state, the same state the counter will maintain. Okay, the counter will maintain. Then when will the counter actually shows its binary sequence means when all of these inputs are equal to 1, when clear, load, ENT, ENP all are equal to 1, then based on the clock pulse, the counting changes like this. If the present state is 0, next state becomes 1. Suppose if the present state is 1, the next state is 2. The present state is 2, the next state is 3. If the present state is 3, the next state is 4. Like that, the counting you can observe in this counter IC 74163. So if all the output lines are equal to 1, that is QA, QB, QC, QD, whenever all at logic 1, then only the RCO output become logic 1. The RCO output, that is ripple carry output, become 1. So let us see the timing diagram with reference to this counter. So this is the timing diagram. Similarly, whatever the previously you have seen, in the same way the timing diagram you can observe. Here the RCO becomes 1. The RCO becomes 1 when all of output lines equal to 1. When all of output lines, that is QA, QB, QC, QD equal to 1, then RCO becomes 1. So what is the purpose of this RCO means? It is used in order to design the cascading counters. Okay, so in order to design the cascading counters, the RCO output will help. Okay, so let us see how to connect that RCO while designing the cascading connectors in the further classes. Okay, then now let us see how to develop a VHDL program for this IC or 4-bit counter. Okay, So as usual, the program start with library and use clauses. Library opens the standard library IEEE, and from that IEEE you need to open standard logic 1164 package. From that package, dot all represents all the declarations of this package will be visible to the following design units. Okay. So after this, that entity declaration will start. The entity declaration start with the word entity, the name of the entity. That is, here I am giving the name is binary counter is. Then port includes all input and output declarations. Here I am declaring clear active at active low, load at active low input, ENT, ENP, clock signals. All these are inputs at the data type is standard logic. Okay. So another input also there, that is A. Here instead of ABCD, I declared only one object with the name A, but in the form of array, that is standard logic vector consisting 4 locations, A of 3 to A of 0. Okay. Then output two declarations I am giving here. One is Q. This is for representing QA, QB, QC, QD in the IC, and another one is RCO, ripple carry output. So this is the entity declaration to declare all inputs and outputs of IC 163. Okay, IC 163. Then it is the time to write the architecture body. Okay, the purpose of architecture body to represent the internal logic. Okay, the first line of architecture body here is it start with the word architecture name of entity name, that is binary C here is. Okay, then architecture begin. After that here I am going to write the program in the behavioral model. That's why the concurrent statement in the statement part of architecture body is process. Okay, process of sensitivity list. Usually the sensitivity list means all the inputs. Then process begin. After that here I am using if statements to check different input signals and to maintain proper counting. First of all, I am going to check the clear input. Okay, if the clear input is 0, then what is the expected output? That is, it clears the counter. Means all outputs at logic 0. Therefore, Q is assigned with zeros. Using the signal assignment statement. Else if I am going to check now the second priority input, that is load. If load is 0, what happens? Whatever the data on A, input A is loaded into the counter. Okay. So with the signal assignment statement, I am representing it as Q less than equal to A. Okay. Else if, next I am going to check ENT and ENP. If both are zeros, not both at the time, if either ENT or ENP equal to 0, ENP are equal to 0, then as per the truth table, the counter maintains previous state only. That's why Q equal to Q. Okay. Else, that means if all of these inputs are equal to 1, then based on the applied clock signal, for every rising clock, okay, it shows the counting action. That is, if the present state is 0, the next state is 1. If the present state is 1, the next state is 2, like that. So therefore I represented equation signal assignment statement is Q less than equal to Q plus 1. Okay, then end if. Okay, it shows the counting action for every clock signals. Suppose if Q equal to 1, all ones, then the RCO become 1. The RCO equal to 1. Otherwise the RCO equal to 0. Okay, so end if, end process, end architecture, name. Okay, like that you can develop a program for the the 74163. Okay, then let us see. Okay, so designing of different mod counters you can see in the next class.